Welcome to Track Records, the show that spotlights the fastest, boldest, and the most unforgettable moments in horse racing history. Today, we're not just talking about a great performance, we're talking about the performance, the greatest of all time. Secretariat in the 1973 Belmont Stakes. There are moments in sports that defy explanation, like Will Chamberlain's 100-point game, Usain Bolt's 9.58 100-meter dash, Michael Phelps' 8 gold medals. Secretariat's Belmont Stakes belongs in that conversation, and some would argue it stands above them all. Coming into the Belmont Stakes, Secretariat was already a star. He had shattered the Kentucky Derby record with a time of 1:59 and 2/5 seconds, running each successive quarter mile faster than the one before, something no Derby winner had ever done. Then in the Preakness, despite a poor start, he made a jaw-dropping move on the first turn, not the second turn, on the first turn, and never looked back, winning with ease. But even with those performances, nobody, and I mean nobody, was ready for what was about to happen at Belmont Park on June 9th in 1973. A crowd of more than 69,000 people packed into the grandstand. Millions more watched on TV around the world. They were hoping to witness history. The air buzzed with anticipation. Could this colt become the first Triple Crown winner since Citation did it in 1948? Secretariat broke cleanly, immediately took on Sham, his familiar rival from the Derby of Preakness, and these two sped away like it was a quarter horse sprint. The first quarter mile went in 23 and 3/5 seconds. The half mile went in 46 and 1/5 seconds. Those are suicidal fractions for a mile and a half. Most horses would burn out. Most horses would collapse in the stretch, but not Secretariat. By the mile mark, he was pulling away. No urging, no whip, just a majestic, almost effortless glide. It was the kind of movement that looked animated, like something out of a dream. Track announcer Chick Anderson gave us the immortal call as he was going along the far turn. He said, "Secretariat is widening now. He is moving like a tremendous machine." Now that last part will live in horse racing history for eternity. That is the most iconic sentence in horse racing. He is moving like a tremendous machine. And he wasn't just moving, he was flying. Down the home stretch, it was like a blur. His lead was expanding with every stride. Second place was no longer even visible on the screen on TV. The crowd was on his feet, many in tears, witnessing something they knew they'd never see again. He crossed the wire 31 lengths in front. 31. That's more than a football field and a half. And he did it in 2:24 flat, a world record for a mile and a half on dirt. And it still stands to this day. Untouched. Nobody's even come close. The internal fractions of that race suggest that Secretariat could have gone even faster if he pushed. He essentially ran 6 back-to-back sub-25-second quarter miles. That's not just dominance. That's like myth-making. That's almost impossible. But this wasn't a fluke. Secretary's Belmont wasn't just fast, it was precise, tactical, and devastatingly efficient. According to timing data analyzed after the race, Secretariat ran his final quarter mile in 25 seconds flat. In the final quarter mile of a mile and a half race, after a grueling pace, he had enough left in the tank to close at a championship level. He could have ran somebody down with that final quarter mile if he needed to. And yet, perhaps even more remarkable is what came after. Secretariat is not only a national treasure, but a generational foundation for the sport of horse racing. His bloodlines ran through countless champions, and in fact, every horse in the 2025 Kentucky Derby was a descendant of Secretariat. He didn't just win the race, he's reshaped the sport. And when you talk about racing records in horse racing, most come with an asterisk. Change conditions, the race is now changed, distances, synthetic surfaces now, evolving competition. The horses don't run as often, so you get a weaker field, but whatever. There's no excuses. Secretariat's Belmont Stakes stands frozen in time, no debate, no caveats, just perfection. A time that defies modern comprehension. Achieved under pressure with the whole world watching. It was and remains the ultimate track record. Thank you for tuning in to Track Records. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe for more legendary tales from the history of horse racing. And let us know in the comments, were you there at Belmont Park that day? Where does Secretariat's Belmont Stakes rank in your list of the greatest performances in sports history? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and have a great Belmont Stakes week.
Now open! The Beat the Odds Horse Racing LLC store is officially open. With over 100 horse racing themed products, including shirts, hoodies, stickers, and more, you're sure to find something you love. Check it out now at www.betohr.com and discover your perfect match today. Don't miss out. Shop now and beat the odds.